Welcome to this Zen in 10 class, mobility and flexibility. You guys, you are going to want to, I predict, pause this and stay in some of these poses a little bit longer. They're just so yummy. I was like, how am I going to do all this in 10 minutes? But we're going to keep to our promise, 10 minutes, and then maybe you'll want to even do it again. Good stuff coming at you today. I really believe that mobility is one of the keys to longevity. Being able to stay mobile into our older years is the key to living longer and a happier life. So these moves will all lead to that. Let's get started here in child's pose. So just settling down to your mat. For today's class, you'll want a couple blocks and maybe a chair. If getting up and down is difficult, we will be doing that once or twice, getting up and down. So maybe a chair, maybe some blocks. Pause this, grab those items, and settle down into your child's pose. Hips coming down toward heels, head resting through. And you might stay here, or for a little bit more activation, tent your fingers. Tenting your fingers a little more active through arms and shoulders, and then just let those rest down. Take that 2 more times. Inhale, kind of lift those elbows up, push your fingers in, and exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Maybe lifting your head off this time, lengthening out a little more as you lower down. Let those elbows rest down and then just kind of walk both arms over to the right corner of your mat. You might even stack left arm on top of right. And then just walk it back around to the left corner of your mat. Maybe stacking right on top of left. Back to center, let's lift our way up into a few cat-cows. Now, we do these a lot if you've practiced with me before. Today, just a little slower. So tilting that tailbone up, gaze in front. And then exhale, really rounding, tucking the chin. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Taking a couple more, nice and slow as you tilt your tailbone up, heart pulls through your arms just slightly. As you round this time, bring your hips just a little closer to your heels. Good, last one. All right, this next one is where you might like your blocks handy. We're coming into a low lunge, so I'm gonna just demo this using blocks on medium level, go high level, and we're just bringing our right foot forward, staying on that back left knee. Lean into that low lunge, so even if your knee tracks a little bit over ankle, that's okay. Just lean in here, and then slide back, sliding into your half split. Lengthen your spine out, and exhale, fold. Toes pointing up, we're a little flexed there. If you feel a ton behind your knee, little bend in the knee. Find your hamstring if you can. And then take that as a flossing motion a couple more times. These mobility moves, flossing just means kind of going forward and back into that. Long holds are really nice for flexibility. Mobility, kind of flossing moves is what I'm figuring out for my own body. So let's hold it this time in the half split. So lengthening your spine out, exhale, fold over. You saw me drop down to a lower level of my block with each exhale. I'm able to release a tiny bit of tension. Okay, we'll come into second side now. So I'm taking blocks back up on high level, drawing that right knee back, bringing left foot forward. And here's where we'll lean into the lunge, just leaning those hips forward, pretending like someone's pressing on your low back, leaning you forward. And then finding your way into the half split. Again, long spine. I'm kind of bringing my blocks back with me around the knee area. Long spine, heart coming down toward leg, foot flexed. And then just floss that a little bit, just floating forward, taking hips back. Nice and easy. Notice what you notice. This side I notice a lot more behind my knee tension, so I'm keeping a little more of a bend. So it's just little subtle things like that with your own body that in the long run just really pay off to pay attention to. All right, this time let's hold the half split, so leaning forward with each exhale, maybe finding a little bit more depth in the pose. Awesome, one more breath here. Okay, good. Taking it back again this time, matching our knees up. So blocks on high level, left knee back. We're bringing right foot forward again. Taking a really nice low lunge again, leaning those hips forward. This time coming into a twist. So I'm keeping my left block handy and on medium or low level. That left arm comes down, right arm lifts up, taking a little twist here. Okay, so pressing down into the floor, lifting your heart up, letting those hips drop down a little more. For a little bit more, we'd bring arm back behind and look behind. Now if that stresses head or neck or anything, hand can be to your hip or to your thigh. Just provide options. Okay, good. Take another breath right here. Slowly relaxing out of this pose, coming into second side. So bringing your left foot forward now. And again, just leaning into it a little bit more. Bringing right hand down, floor or block, so you don't have to have blocks here. Shoulder over wrist though is a big cue. Right shoulder over right wrist, lift your left arm up if possible, to the hip if that's better for you. Lean into it just a little bit more, and then for an added twist, bringing that arm back behind you, looking back. Very nice, one more breath. And slowly releasing that. This is where a chair might be nice. We are coming to a standing position. If you want to just use your blocks too, you sure can. We're bringing right foot up to the top of the mat. Take your time getting there. If that's a big move for you, just be patient with your body. Toes angling out, heels angling in here, and we're taking those Malasana Dips. You guys know, if you've done any other classes of mine lately, these, I'm a big fan of them. Okay, so I'm using block support here. You could also use chair support if that's better for you. If you need no support, I'm just gonna face the camera and show you a way to get a little deeper into it. I'm really loving binding the outside edges of feet. As you come down, those elbows are squeezing into your inner thighs to open your hips up a little more. And then we're just lifting and lowering from right here. So plenty of options to get into this pose the best way for your body. Let's just take one more. If you're still facing the short end of the mat, let's come out of that and face this long end of the mat now. For one final standing pose, a wider stance, so feet are much wider than our hips here. Toes angling out, heels angling in. Take a generous bend. Hands to thighs, and we'll just dip left shoulder down, look up over right. And dip right shoulder down, look up over left. Come back to neutral and find your wide angle forward fold. This is our last standing posture here. Lengthen the spine out and exhale, fold. One more breath here, tuck your chin, just let that head and neck rest. Coming to a seated position, again grabbing your chair if you need to, or just finding your way into a seated position. Seated forward fold, lengthening those legs out, arms up by your ears, inhale, and exhale, fold. Just a couple breaths right here. These are the more flexibility aspects of the pose. Longer holds, really nice for those flexibility gains. Good. Take one more breath right here, and we'll slowly make our way onto our back. And just let those feet plant, knees bent. Feet to the very outer edges of the mat. Cactus your arms, just drop those knees side to side a couple times. And then we'll make our way into a Savasana pose. Arms down by your sides, lengthen those legs out. Lift your shoulders up, place them down again. Let that physical body rest and relax in this very neutral pose. Pause and stay longer if you can. Thanks so much for practicing with me today. Enjoy.